On a more serious note now, with attention focused on the year's anniversary of the Marikana massacre, a leading journalism professor has spoken out about how in many cases the media has focused on the corporate and the police spin regarding the tragedy and not focusing on the voices of the miners themselves. I spoke to Professor Jane Duncan from Rhodes University's Journalism Department on Newsnight here on ENCA.
Well, I think that there was insufficient energy put into actually canvassing the voices of mine workers. And by that I mean mine workers independently of the two main trade union protagonists, NUM and AMCU. I think that many journalists assumed that by canvassing the two unions, they were effectively canvassing the voice of workers. And I think as has subsequently become evident, there were many miners who didn't feel sufficiently represented by either union. To an extent, it was an accessibility issue because at that stage, in the immediate aftermath of the massacre, many of the mine workers were scared to speak, and also in addition to that, many were arrested as well. But it wasn't completely an accessibility issue because we saw subsequent investigations by a team from the University of Johannesburg and from the Daily Maverick accessing mine workers to develop a radically different account from what had been put into the public domain by the mainstream media. I think that there is an over-reliance on official sources of information, and it's to an extent understandable, the reasons why. We've had tremendous cost-cutting in many newsrooms, and it's easy in a fast-paced news environment.
Pick up the phone, make the call.
Yes, exactly, to go to the news sources that have been authenticated by other news organizations, but it's ultimately lazy journalism.
Now, a new airline commercial, whether it be in South Africa or around the world, is always something to get excited about. The low-cost carrier Mango has just launched a new TV commercial with the payoff line, "Why not today?" The thinking behind the work, it's based on the insight about instant human gratification. The advertising agency is Gendel Advertising. Let's go behind the scenes.
We've gone through quite a journey, a brand journey with Mango, where we've refreshed the brand. We've looked at various options in terms of how we position the brand, how we position Mango to the eyes and the minds of our target market. And we've arrived at being an explorer brand. Why not today very aptly describes that. We're saying to our target audience, seize the moment. We're saying to them, travel today. Obviously travel on Mango, but we're saying don't put it off and don't delay it.
From a strategic point of view, it's always been important to us to showcase a very human side of the Mango brand personality. I think the Why Not Today strapline really does encapsulate some of the key human traits of this brand character.
The commercials are uplifting. It actually leaves you with a really nice inspirational kind of feeling. Visually, what makes it interesting is that apart from the very profound message that comes across, visually what's quite engaging to the viewer is that we have an old guy that is growing younger. And we're not using any wipes, so from a production point of view, it'll be new territory. It'll be exciting because you're actually going to see the morphs happen from old to young. In terms of the cast, we were actually quite fortunate to cast, ideally we were looking for like a grandfather, father, son, and because the proportions, the face proportions, the eyes, the nose, had to obviously be as closely as possible between grandfather, father and son. So I think we were lucky that way. We found that in the white male as well as the black female for the jazz commercial.
And so we leave the washroom here at Sandton City, and who knows where we will next find branding and marketing opportunities. Goodbye to you. Thank you for watching. Remember to wash your hands and read those ads.
News that moves. ENCA.com.